Welcome back, everyone. Well, today in our Sunday Spotlight, going south for college. As high school seniors await college decisions, many here in Connecticut are hoping to trade in their snow boots for sunshine and football in the South. Southern schools are seeing a huge influx of applications, and tens of thousands of those are coming from kids here in the Northeast.
Thousands of kids are choosing to go south for college to get game days like this at the legendary Ole Miss Stadium. The search for school spirit in the South is spreading rapidly. Elizabeth Oravec is the executive director of undergraduate admissions at the University of South Carolina and says the whole SEC is seeing this trend as application rates for Southern schools explode.
We've had application growth. We've probably nearly doubled our non-resident applications in the last really 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
And a lot of that is growth along, especially from the Northeast. There is just so much, spirit and community on campus that I think students are really drawn to that.
The Wall Street Journal published an article entitled, "Sorry, Harvard, everyone wants to go south for college." College counselor Lauren Drazen of West Hartford agrees it's a trend in Connecticut.
Sun and fun, so good weather, good school spirit, sports, lots of fun sports, and it's different because you're outside all year round. It's easy to get from point A to point B now. Parents are more open to lots of different places around the country, and so they're exploring more and more willing to kind of explore the South. And the kids are really excited about that. The first thing they say when you ask, "What do you want in a college? What are you thinking?" I want a big, lots of people, lots of school spirit, good sports, and good weather.
The trend started in part when northeastern campuses shut down during the pandemic, and many kids headed south where there were fewer restrictions.
When everyone was closed off to the rest of the world, all of a sudden things opened up and people started, thinking about everything in a different way. So I could go anywhere, really. Why wouldn't I?
But moving far away from home for college is something any family needs to think about, says child psychologist Dr. Laura Saunders from the Institute of Living.
What do you think as a child psychologist about some of these kids maybe seeing something on social media and going, "Yep, that's what I want"?
Yeah, I think actually, I would guess that social media plays a huge role in that, right? Who wouldn't want to be in a warm, sunny climate all year round with, sitting by the pool in the winter months when when it's freezing here? What I worry about is the actual logistics, because a lot of those schools are actually bigger schools, and that's not always the best fit for some individuals.
And that Southern comfort food may not be enough to soothe homesickness in some kids.
Really looking at the logistics that for that, for a particular child who is a bit of a homebody, but honestly going away to college is going to be a good stretch for them to be 1,000 miles away and really not have any access to coming home for a weekend if they need a break is going to be all the more difficult. And I don't want kids then going there, having some illusions and dropping out.
As for getting into that dream school in the South,
are you seeing with this influx that it's getting harder and harder to get accepted, or it's just hard to weed through this huge influx of out-of-state apps from the Northeast?
Yeah, and so we certainly this year will hit about almost 60,000 applicants,
Wow.
and so it certainly drives our volume. But luckily, we have the staff and the capacity to review the applications, look at every application to make our admissions decisions. It is becoming more selective.
What would your advice be to some New England families, Connecticut families listening? You're saying, "Oh my gosh, I want to go to University of South Carolina. How do I stand out with, of course, grades, but even other things, extracurriculars? What should we be doing?"
Yeah, I think I can't emphasize enough just how important it is to, focus on your high school years, just getting a well-rounded experience.
GPA matters and test scores are becoming required again. But the secret sauce of admittance is like a carefully crafted Southern recipe.
And there is a holistic review process. And so since we're getting so many applications and so many applications from students with good grades, we're looking at what students have done outside of the classroom, how they're spending their time in high school.
With so many more applications to Southern schools, many college-bound kids are living the year of the deferral. That means the student applied early and the college decided to wait on its decision, putting the application back in that ever-growing pile.
Anytime an application volume grows, but you may not be looking to grow the freshman class as much, there's going to be more students who unfortunately are deferred. It's good to have options, but a deferral is not a deny.
Now, this is a question the moms are going to want to know. Do the kids come home after, or do they tend to stay and get jobs down there?
That's a great question. Well, I came to South Carolina from Florida 20 years ago, and I'm still here.
Now, a lot of parents are hoping they will come back. But another factor, of course, is cost. Even though Southern schools charge out-of-state tuition, the cost can still be lower than a school like UConn, and the cost of living down there, of course, is a lot less. And that is CT 25 for this week. CBS Sunday Morning is next. We want you to have a great rest of your weekend. We will meet you back here in Studio A next Sunday morning.